Most of what we see in the universe begins as a blur, a whisper of light too faint to understand. For decades, Pluto was just that, a tiny smear on the edge of our solar system, a cold mystery, orbiting in silence. Even the mighty Hubble could only see a handful of colored pixels, shifting faintly against the black. But in July 2015, the universe blinked back. Across 5 billion kilometers, a single spacecraft, New Horizons, sent home a vision that changed everything. What once looked like a blur now had shape, color, and a heart. For the first time, humanity saw Pluto's icy plains, its blue haze, its frozen mountains, a world both alien and strangely familiar. Most of what we see begins as a blur, until one day it blinks back. What did New Horizons discover beyond Pluto? And what has it seen since those final pictures, launched in 2006? New Horizons began a 9-year journey toward the frozen edge of the solar system. It raced past the moon in just 9 hours, 10 times faster than Apollo, the fastest human-made object ever launched from Earth. Its path swung past Jupiter, where it captured volcanic eruptions on Io in full motion, a perfect dress rehearsal before venturing into the unknown. For 9 years, it drifted through the deep, silent dark, a messenger of curiosity, powered by a single heart of plutonium. By the time it reached Pluto in 2015, it had already traveled more than 5 billion kilometers, and since then, it has flown another 7 billion, now more than 62 astronomical units away beyond the warmth of the sun, where sunlight takes over 8 hours just to reach it. Each bit of data travels home at 1 kilobit per second, a whisper crossing 5 billion kilometers. For most of its voyage, New Horizons slept its systems in hibernation to protect every fragile circuit from space's long frost. Now, nearly 20 years after launch, the spacecraft is awakening once again, preparing to cross the heliosphere's final boundary by the year 2027, where the wind of our sun fades and true interstellar space begins. When New Horizons finally approached Pluto, the first image it sent stunned the world, a bright, pale heart shining across the darkness. They named it Sputnik Planitia, an ice plain the size of Texas, smooth and luminous, etched with strange polygonal patterns under the distant sun. The temperature there drops to minus 229 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, water ice becomes harder than rock, yet nitrogen ice, lighter and softer, flows like rivers across the plains. Across the surface, giant polygonal cells slowly shift and cycle, each one rising and sinking over millions of years, like a world breathing through ice. No craters mark the heart. It is young, untouched by time. Scientists believe Sputnik Planitia is barely 10 million years old, younger than the human story itself. It moves, it breathes, a frozen heart that still remembers warmth. Beyond the icy plains, New Horizons revealed something no one expected: mountains rising 4 kilometers high, built not of rock, but of water ice. Among them stands Right Mons, a vast dome with a hollowed center, a sleeping cryovolcano that may once have erupted nitrogen, methane, and water vapor. On Earth, volcanoes build mountains with fire. On Pluto, they carve them from frost. Beneath the surface of Sputnik Planitia, scientists detected a strange gravitational anomaly. The region is heavier than it should be. The reason, they believe, lies in a hidden ocean, deep below an invisible sea of liquid water pressing upward. shifting Pluto's balance toward its moon. It may be the same ocean that once fed its icy volcanoes, freezing slowly into eternity. Across the terrain, cracks and ridges spread outward evidence that Pluto is not collapsing, but expanding. Even here, at the edge of the sun's light, a world once thought dead still moves beneath its frozen skin. Far from the bright heart of Pluto lies a darker land, a wilderness of spires, ridges, and shadows. Here stands Tartarus Dorsa, a forest of ice blades rising 500 meters tall. Sculpted by cycles of sublimation and frost, each blade points toward the sun, like frozen prayers carved by time itself. And then there is Cthulhu Macula, a dark region shaped like a whale. Vast and ancient, its surface scarred with countless impact craters. This region is coated with tholins, the cosmic tar of the solar system created when ultraviolet light breaks down methane and ammonia in Pluto's thin atmosphere. These organic stains turn the surface red, painting Pluto with the colors of chemistry and time. In 2024, the James Webb Space Telescope went further, detecting carbon dioxide and hydrogen peroxide on Charon, Pluto's largest moon. These molecules suggest ultraviolet light still dances between the two worlds, driving a complex, ongoing chemistry in the frozen dark. From methane frost to red scars, Pluto and Charon share one chemistry, one story. Micro quiz. When was Pluto's atmosphere last as thick as Mars? Pluto doesn't dance alone. Locked in an eternal embrace, it waltzes with its largest moon, Charon. Two worlds bound by gravity, circling a shared center that lies outside Pluto itself, stand on one, and the other never moves. The same face of Pluto always gazes upon Charon, and Charon forever stares back. It's a perfect cosmic duet. Two frozen partners locked in a dance that will never end. From regions like Viking Terra and Virgil Fosse, New Horizons saw signs of cryovolcanic flows, a slurry of water and tholins that may have escaped Pluto's gravity. Traveling 19,000 kilometers to paint Charon's North Pole red, Pluto hides its heart. While painting its moon red, scientists now believe that around 900,000 years ago, Pluto's atmosphere was as thick as Mars, dense enough for gases to move freely between the two worlds. Two worlds. One rhythm, one breath, shared across the void. High above this frozen duet drifts a veil of haze, 20 thin layers wrapping Pluto in soft blue light. When sunlight passes through, it casts mountain shadows that stretch for hundreds of kilometers, light painting the silence. The air pressure here is barely 10 microbars, but over Plutos langt til 148 orbit. It can rise to 280 millibars, thick enough to breathe. If you had lungs made of nitrogen. In 2024, the James Webb Space Telescope found that this haze doesn't just scatter light, it regulates temperature, absorbing sunlight and releasing infrared energy. It's a natural thermostat, creating a climate unlike anything else in the solar system. In some places, the haze descends to touch the surface, a fog kissing the ice. Pluto glows not from heat, but from balance. In one of the last images sent by New Horizons, scientists noticed what looked like a frozen lake, a smooth, glassy basin resting among the mountains. But beneath that layer of nitrogen ice, something deeper may lie, a hidden ocean, kept alive by the slow decay of radioactive elements and the pressure of time itself. The cracks that spread across Pluto's surface aren't signs of collapse, they're signs of expansion. As the world below pushes upward, Pluto's thin atmosphere is 100,000 to 1 million times weaker than Earth's, yet it holds the weight of mystery just as well. Even silence can hide a sea. As New Horizons drifted beyond Pluto, scientists noticed something else. The surfaces of Pluto and Charon held fewer craters than expected. That meant the Kuiper Belt might be quieter than we thought, a vast region, not of chaos, but of calm. But in 2023 and 2024, the Subaru telescope changed that view, discovering 239 new Kuiper Belt objects, some orbiting far beyond 70 astronomical units. Together, they hint at something extraordinary, a possible second belt, stretching between 70 and 90 AU from the Sun. Maybe the belt is not empty, just farther than we thought. And somewhere in that silence, another story waits: a bridge leading from Pluto to Arrokoth, discovered by the Hubble Space Telescope. Arrokoth became the most distant object ever visited by a spacecraft. In January 2019, New Horizons flew just 500 kilometers above its surface, more than 5 billion kilometers from the Sun. What it saw was hauntingly beautiful. Two lobes fused together in a slow-motion embrace, colliding at barely 2 meters per second. No violent impact, no chaos, just a quiet union. The first kiss of creation. Its surface bears almost no craters, making it a time capsule from the solar system's infancy. The red color comes from irradiated methanol, forming tholins that stain its ancient ices. Around the narrow neck between the lobes, traces of ammonia ice still shimmer in the cold light. The temperature, 29 Kelvin, warmer than expected, suggesting leftover heat from its early formation. Recent 2023-2024 studies revealed even more. Inside Arrokoth's porous structure, scientists detected primordial carbon monoxide, preserved since the dawn of the solar system. They also found evenly sized mounds of ancient ice across its surface, perhaps the first building blocks that came together to form the body itself. These frozen layers evolve at a pace slower than time itself, a frozen chemistry of creation. It's not a relic, it's a memory. Today, New Horizons still drifts onward, its heart beating faintly. With 11 kilograms of fuel left in its tank, it now serves as an observatory at the edge of the solar system, collecting data on the Kuiper Belt, the heliosphere, and the faint ultraviolet glow that fills interstellar space. It's even scanning for free-floating black holes and mapping the faintest background light, the cosmic whispers beyond the Sun's reach. By 2027, it will likely cross the termination shock, becoming the third spacecraft after Voyager 1 and 2 to enter interstellar space. In 2024, NASA briefly considered ending its Kuiper science mission, a decision that sparked a global wave of protest. Scientists, students, and dreamers spoke out, and the mission was ultimately extended through the end of the decade. Even on the edge of light, it still fights to see. When New Horizons looks toward Alpha Centauri, our nearest star, it appears slightly displaced, a shift caused by parallax. We've gone so far, the stars themselves have moved. The final images fade together, the icy heart of Pluto, the red pole of Charon, the flat fossil of Arrokoth, all linked by a stream of data whispering across the void. From a blur of light to the first shadows of creation, from the warmth of oceans beneath ice to the cold memory of a red fossil. Perhaps what the universe wants to say isn't found in the noise, but in the silence between the signals. If you've stayed with us until now, type ocean. If you want us to dive beneath Pluto's ice, or flat. If you're ready for the next deep dive into Arrokoth's mystery, as the final hum of the wow signal echoes through the dark, the words linger between science and silence. Top of form. bottom of form.